With the victory, Breese Central improves to 30-5 on the season and advances to tomorrow's Class 2A state championship against Quincy Notre Dame. With us from Breese Central are Taylor Wilkin, head coach Nathan Reeder, Maddie Timmerman, and Taylor Voss. Coach, would you like to start us off with some opening comments on the game?
Sure. Obviously, we're very excited to have had the opportunity to play in the semifinals and advance to a state championship contest tomorrow. I think the kids have been working very hard throughout the course of the season, realizing that we were possibly going to have an opportunity like this. I think from early on, it was kind of just understood within the team that, we really wanted to make it up here to state this year. And, at this point, we got to be extremely excited about our opportunities tomorrow, regardless of who the opponent may be.
Question.
Just for anybody there here, Stillman really loves playing a physical game. I was wondering if you could talk about how much you guys like playing a physical game. It seemed like you guys were very good at it.
Well, our last 4 games have been really physical, and so we were ready to come out with a physical game. And whenever it gets physical, I feel like we play better, we try harder, and we know that we have to finish hard, and we do.
I wondering if somebody else can talk to, especially on the press. It seemed like, on inbounding the ball, whatever, you guys were physical in their face, and it seemed like, especially in the first half, it really flustered them.
I just think when we play fast, that's how we get our offense going, and when we go up tempo, then that's what we like to get good shots like that.
Nathan, they got the 4 there late in the third, and Taylor hits the long jumper there at the buzzer. How big was that? Just momentum and just kind of ride the ship after that?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked at halftime about how important it was going to be for us to come out and win the third quarter, and then to lay an egg like we did, to be able to hit a shot right at the buzzer there, and then kind of distance ourselves a little bit more was much needed.
Taylor, it was your bucket that started things rolling. Just talk about just asking Taylor.
The last bucket?
Yeah, of the third quarter. Got you guys rolling on your little run there.
It was the third quarter?
Yes.
I guess it got us up, our tempo higher because we were struggling there a little bit. I don't know. It felt good.
You guys were struggling at that point. As he said, you laid an egg. Did you feel that you laid an egg in the court?
Yeah, it was frustrating. Because we were doing, even though we had a lot of turnovers in the first half or whatever, it was just stressful whenever we were that ahead kind of a lot, and then we just fell all of a sudden. So I guess it felt good to get that shot off.
And then fourth quarter, Maddie made 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
Well, they were in zone the whole game, and I don't know, I'm just not a zone offensive player, and whenever we went in man, I started to drive in and finish strong, and when they weren't falling, I focused on my free throws, and they went in. Felt good.
And then when you guys went up, when you extended your lead, did that help you relax some more?
Yeah, it was. Whenever the game got close, we all started getting nervous, and I knew that we had to just pick our heads up and keep trying. So it felt good to get that lead again, and then we all just kind of relaxed and played our game.
Nathan, regardless what happens tomorrow, when you look back at this season, what will be the identity or identities that have defined this team?
I just think, regardless of, the task that was required of us, we were ready to step up to the plate, I kind of questioned our toughness midway through, around the Christmas tournament. I felt like, losing those back-to-back games to MD and Althoff at the Christmas tournament, and then having an opportunity to get right back out on the court and play against Highland and the T-Town, kind of moving into our conference schedule and then into the Highland tournament, we were really tested there over about a 3-week period of time. And I knew we were going to find out what this team was made of during that stretch, and we really played well over that stretch. So I gained a lot of confidence from that. I just think, as I said earlier in my opening comments, when the chips have been down, when the opponent has been a tough opponent, we've always just seemed to kind of rise to the occasion. So hopefully we'll rise to the occasion tomorrow as well.
Nathan, just kind of a weird game. If I tell you had 17 turnovers and only 11 field goals, how do you like your chances of winning the game?
Not at all. and we turned the ball over way too frequently tonight. You know, I think a big key to the game was just simply feeling like we had enough cushion at the beginning of the fourth quarter to hold the ball and make them go man. You know, we talked about that they were going to play zone. We knew they were going to play zone because they just didn't match up from a quickness standpoint. And we just didn't execute. We didn't use our quickness against their zone. We didn't break their zone down off the dribble. We just tried to pass over the top of it, and their length obviously created all kinds of problems. That's where the turnovers came in. And obviously, if that's going to be a preview for tomorrow night's contest, then we're going to really struggle.
Any more questions?
Taylor, does it suck in playing for a state championship tomorrow as a senior? How good of a feeling is that?
Yeah, it feels good. I'm just glad that I have like the team I do because we all really enjoy playing together, and it's going to be fun playing our last game as a championship again, like we did in volleyball 2 years ago.
All right, thank you, Coach. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please continue your interviews down the hallway.
It says no interviews in the hallway.
Stillman Valley. Down further in the hallway. Wait, did not say that. Ben.
Don't be a pain in the butt.
Good. Congratulations. Yeah, I heard your throat. Yeah, I heard.
Sometimes you try to throw it through, step around. Would
Matt Troja please pick up a white courtesy phone? Matt Troja.
Okay.
Can we do that? I got 12 phones. 19.
I've got 12. How many turnovers do you have?
I gotta look on all.
I have 17. I've got mine already. Still did a really good job of taking care of the ball in the second half.
Oh, absolutely. Look what they did with Wilkin and Marka and Kepke, 10. 10:25.
We'll start typing, Kenny.
Yep.
Yeah, I got that.
See you, Centre Sentinel.
Big Mac will be here tomorrow.
He'll probably still be cold.
It says Samantha. It's supposed to be Sam, not Jesse. Yeah, I know. She got the wrong color. Well, just sit up there too, Jesse.
From Stillman Valley, we have Jessica Hellier, head coach Heather Aldrich, and Jessica Garrick. Coach, could you give us some thoughts on the game?
Obviously, we're disappointed with our performance. We felt like we didn't come out and represent ourselves the way we typically play. But I think the girls fought really hard, and I'm proud of them for not giving up. I think it's an easy thing to do when you come in and you have expectations and you don't fulfill those, to kind of give up. And I felt like they fought the entire time.
Hey, Coach, how when you don't shoot well, and I know there's other things that went wrong, but when you don't shoot well, how hard does it make it? It seems like they could just keep packing their defense in more and more. And, I mean, I guess how hard is it when you don't shoot well?
Yeah, I mean, I think it becomes a mental thing, especially in an atmosphere like this. It's a little different than just a high school gym. The one thing we talked about was we had a lot of missed opportunities in the paint. We had good shots, but just couldn't get them to fall, and I think that was probably the most disappointing. But overall, a lot of times we rely on our defense to create our offense, and we had some opportunities that we just couldn't take advantage with that.
And Jess, I was wondering, you guys made such a good run in the third quarter, but I also thought it could have been better. You know, they missed a few free throws, missed a few shots at the end, and then they made the one at the buzzer. I mean, even though that was the run that caught you back in the game, was that maybe being at the end because you didn't make even more of that run?
What?
Okay, in the third quarter, you guys
Yeah.
made a run to get close.
Right.
But did it maybe get away from you when you didn't get it even closer? Because it seemed like you had chances to really almost tie the game up there in the third quarter.
Right, like you said, we weren't able to convert on our run. We weren't making our shots, and I mean, then you can't get close if you don't make shots.
When you got a 2-4 there in the final seconds and number 30 for them hit that shot at the buzzer, how demoralizing was that knowing you were going to have the ball down 4 and then now you're getting the ball down 6? Was that a big momentum break for you guys? Or? Yeah, you can answer that
When she hit that 15-footer is what you're talking
yeah,
about, right there at the end, yeah.
Oh, the other team?
Yeah.
Oh.
23 hit the 15-footer.
I don't think it was really demoralizing. I mean, they worked it around and got a good shot off. No, it wasn't demoralizing. It was right at the end. We knew we could come back out and pick up right where we left off.
Sam, how about their coach said that the big difference was they were able to survive the third quarter and have enough of a cushion that they could hold the ball, you know, basically in the fourth quarter. And I know you guys were forcing some turnovers, but how hard is that to come back when they're not even really trying to shoot and they're just playing keep away? And how hard was that and how frustrating is it?
Yeah, they definitely had a good game, but I mean, when you make shots like that, there's not much you can do on defense. They're a great team. They moved the ball around really well. We did force a few turnovers that gave us a definite lead or a definite push in the beginning of that swing. But I mean, they're a great team, and of course they came to play. It's a state championship game, and we just came to play a little bit later than them, and that's definitely what's going to happen.
You talk about how, you know, they had you flustered with their press early, and then you guys turned the tables on them and started to force. Can you talk about the way your defense started to come back by forcing a few turnovers there?
Yeah, like we said, our press is really what gets us going, and when we jumped into our press in the second half, it definitely got them on their heels a little bit and got them a little frustrated because, I mean, they weren't expecting us to press since we didn't press at all in our sectional championship game. But I mean, it was definitely, we had the momentum in the beginning of the third, and it continued out throughout the third quarter, but then near the end they made shots in the fourth quarter, which definitely gave them the lead.
This is for Jessica Hellier. Can you talk about when, you know, you made your shot and all of a sudden you're closing, you got it within 4? I mean, how good did things feel like they were going, you know, at that point?
Yeah, it felt pretty good to get that shot off, but then I just had to think, well, now I got to get back on defense. These guys aren't going to let up. They're going to push it back down, so I got to get back there. But, yeah, it was nice.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Coach, I know you guys usually like a real physical game. It seems like they liked it too. I mean, was this one of the most physical games you played all year and one of the few times you match up against a team that likes it as much as you do?
Yeah, it would be rated up there in the top. When we watched film and their Pena game, we knew it was going to be physical. That was a physical game as well. And so we knew that was coming in, and that's usually plays to our advantage. But tonight we just, like I said, couldn't take advantage of some of those easy opportunities. And credit to Breeze for their defense.
And it's just, how hard was it to get a good shot against their defense, especially when you're not making anything from outside to pull them out?
They had, like we have all said, they had very strong defense. It was hard to work the ball in. You know, you want to try to get it in, get it out, get it in, get it out, but, you know, they were making it difficult to get those inside shots, and then we weren't able to convert on the inside. We weren't converting on the outside. So, I mean, it's hard to get shots up.
Thanks.
What's it going to take? Obviously, this is a very heartbreaking effort tonight, but what's it going to take to rebound and do well tomorrow?
We just talked about in the locker room that you got to leave this locker room and forget about it because in less than 24 hours you got another game, and we didn't come here to lose 2 in a row, and we haven't all season long. So I know these girls will be on a mission tomorrow night.
Any more questions? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.